What's going on, everybody? Old Bass Balls 334 here. Look, I am with my old buddy, as you guys can see, the Jabber Hammer. This is Mr. Paul Roberts of the Tar Heel Lunkers. Paul, y'all are coming off the first win of the season this week on the road. You guys were facing the Carolina Casters, a match that nobody picked y'all in except for me. I reiterate, when they were talking about this, I believe BK and Greg said, you know what? Not picking against Corey Dreyer and Arlie Minton. I said, hey, guys, do not sleep on Paul Roberts and the Tar Heel Lunkers. I just had a feeling you guys are going to have a better outcome this week. Tell me how Randleman treated y'all, how the match went for you guys, and how you feel about the first win of the season.
Well, man, overall, Randleman treated us like crap, honestly. That lake sucks. None of my teammates, none of them will come on here and say, you know what, I wouldn't mind going back to Randleman. Every one of them say, the hell with that lake, we ain't ever going back. It treated us well in that we got a win, and it was an away game for us, so it was it was the Casters' home lake, but it was tough. I mean, that we people were catching fish in the morning, but they were small. And Mike Wimmer ended up being our anchor. So we fished with Matt Dunn, who Matt hadn't been able to fish as much this year, but Matt Dunn's one of the best anglers in this area. And then Steve Perry. Steve grew up in this area, so he can fish all these lakes. And then Mike Wimmer. And this was Mike's last Lunker tournament. So he came out and anchored us with a couple bigs early in the morning. And from there, we just added in, some couple 14, 15, 16 inches here and there. And we got on fish. I mean, it's one of those things. We had a couple bite windows, one first thing that morning, and then we had another bite window between about 10 and 11:30, somewhere in there. And after that, it shut down. It was hot, no wind, and couldn't find them offshore. That's where I fished the whole day, was offshore. Couldn't find them offshore. A lot of us found fish. Even the Casters guys were seeing fish offshore. Just couldn't get them to bite. It's just a tough bite, man. Kind of summertime fishing down here in the Carolinas.
Right. Well, if I told you that a team consisting again of Arlie Minton and Corey Dreyer were only going to catch one measurable fish, and no disrespect to the rest of the guys on the team, but those two names are the names that are known on that team and talked about the most. And if I told you they were only going to submit one measurable fish for the whole day, and you guys were going to go in there and win with comfort, would you believe that?
I wouldn't, especially not how Corey's been fishing. I mean, Corey's been one of the top anglers every tournament he's fished this season. So, no, not at all. And Arlie, a lot of people don't know Arlie, but if you've been around the National Trail, though, Arlie travels and he catches fish. Arlie knows how to fish. And
He's
we
a
didn't get
stick.
here much. Oh, yeah. And we didn't get here much from Steven Sr. because he had laryngitis. But Steven could fish. And so that's why they've been doing it as well as they've been doing. They got guys that know what to do. They got folks that go out there and catch the numbers, and they got some folks that go out there and catch big ones. But to answer your question, I'm not sure any of us would have chose us.
It was hard to pick against those guys, but you guys are due. I mean, you guys aren't weak links. I mean, y'all haven't been able to put together a match yet. And it finally, I'm not sure. I don't think y'all got to a limit, but you don't always have to get a limit of measurables. And again, in this case, I think y'all put up 7 or 8 fish, and they caught one. You guys are on a bye this week. The next week, y'all have got a home match in the Coosa Kingfishers from Alabama coming in. Another big stick team.
First. Yeah.
They're in first place in their division. Do you see? How does the team feel coming off this win, putting in a bye week's work? I'm sure you already are familiar with the lake y'all are going to be on, but how would it feel to come in and not only beat that Carolina Casters team, but if y'all could take this bye week and then back it up with a first loss of the season for the Coosa Kingfishers, what would that mean moving forward for the rest of the season for the Tar Heel Lunkers?
I think, and I could be wrong, but I think we're out of the playoff hunt. So, and I could be wrong, but the mentality I have with that is this: is we're here to be dream killers. And so if we can give people losses that kick them out or take them out of first in their division and put them in a wild card game, that's what we're shooting for. And
play spoiler, absolutely. Play spoiler.
That's right. I mean, we're out there to wreck dreams and make people cry. And if we can do that, we're going to try. The lake we're fishing on it can be a tough lake. And it's very different than a lot of lakes in this area. It's going to be a different lake for the Coosa folks coming in. Now, I say that from an aspect of these guys that folks travel all over the country and fish. We ain't fishing against no homebodies over there that only fish, the grass in the shallow waters.
Right.
But it's good. We're not going to see huge bags, but we could see a lot of fish, and I think it could be a fun tournament, unlike Randleman. I hope nobody ever damn chooses Randleman to fish another kayak tournament ever. And if this hasn't proved it this past weekend, then, shame on you. Shame, shame, shame. Where's my bail? But this is going to be a good one. I mean, from here on out, I could be wrong, but we're here to just play spoiler, to play dream killer for anybody coming in. And, we want to at least try to figure out some tournament day tactics and communication and all that good stuff, practice that can set us up next year to not start off in a big old hole, especially at home.
Well, it's going to be, it's bye week is always good. It gives you a week to kind of lament in the fact that you guys got off the snide. You got your first win of the season. So that bye week gives you a little extra time not to have to get back into the focus. You can kind of enjoy that first week's win. And then hopefully you guys have a very, very good outcome against the Coosa Kingfishers. Again, I'm not sure who they're bringing. They got Lance Coley and Coley McGowan and Daniel Perry. I'm not sure who's traveling. I haven't seen the lineup yet.
I hadn't either, but at least earlier this year, I've had Jordan on the podcast, so we talk a little bit, and he said he was coming. I wasn't signed up to fish that one. But if something happens and I can sneak in to fish it, I'd love to go follow around Jordan Marshall and throw 3/4 ounce jigs at his kayak.
Always fun. And look, always fun when we're talking to Paul Roberts, the old Jabber Hammer. You guys be sure to go check him out. They got a hell of a podcast. Tell us the name of that podcast, Paul.
Yeah, we're Bass and Brews podcast. It is a entertainment podcast with some education value in it, only because our guests actually know how to fish. It's your weekly distraction from high quality podcast. So come check us out. We'd love it. And, we have great guests on. That's what makes the podcast. And looking forward to having you on here at some point.
Absolutely. We need to make that happen. Well, Paul, I appreciate you taking the time coming on. Again, congratulations on the Tar Heel Lunkers' first win of the season. Enjoy this bye week. I see you're out there enjoying the pool today. Soak up some of that sun. Don't get too hot. And let's carry over this win in a couple weeks to the Coosa Kingfishers match. And hopefully you guys can give them the first loss of the season.
Yeah, for sure. Who y'all got coming up next?
This week we are on the road. The Alabama Hammers are on the road. We're going to Kentucky Lake to face the Tennessee Shiners. And then next week we have the Palmetto Punishers coming into, or in a couple weeks we have the Palmetto Punishers coming into Gunnersville. So,
hey, let me say a name real quick that I brought up. I was on the live feed Friday night with Greg and Blake. Look, y'all, Blaine Upton for the Punishers. Y'all better know who Blaine Upton is.
I just got Barry Davis, and I just talked about him, so I'm excited to see what old Blaine can do for us.
Yeah, y'all keep eye on him. Well, thank you, man.
Well, all right, brother. Well, look, hey, thanks again for taking the time to come on. Absolutely.
All right, bro.
Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, buddy. All right, man.
I'm gonna try later.